Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you so much for the knowledge that you bring.
And for allowing us to reflect back to all of you what you already know.
So I have 3 questions.
Oh, all right. Another triad.
Yes. Does the body have the ability to heal regardless of what trauma that has been through? Even after surgeries, trauma, viruses, damage, all kinds of damage to the body, does the physical body really can it heal 100%, really?
Yes. Now, again, you are talking about the idea of quote-unquote circumstances that are relevant to what theme you are exploring. Certain themes you are exploring may not have chosen for the body to be allowed to heal, but in the generalized answer, yes, the body is capable of healing from anything. Anything. But you have to be in the right vibration to allow it to do so. And again, taking advantage of the collective agreement of the ideas in physical reality that you allow yourselves to generally be affected by automatically, you can aid the body in that sense vibrationally in its ability to heal from just about anything by doing certain physical things that are representative of being in alignment with the collective agreement about what health is, such as detoxification. Because if you live in an environment that you actually believe to be toxic, your body is absorbing those toxins. Those toxins lodge in your cells. So no matter what it is you put in your body that might be beneficial, if the cells are blocked from absorbing the nutrients by being full of toxins, then putting all that will not help you. But if you flush your body of the toxins and make room for the nutrients, then when the body has the building blocks it needs to heal itself, it can heal itself from anything. So that's one approach to it. Obviously, there's an energetic approach, all sorts of different approaches. But fundamentally, yes, your body can be in an absolutely natural state of health absolutely all the time, no matter what it has been through. It can always have the ability. It always has the ability to repair. Because again, remember, what are you actually doing? You're not actually changing that body. You're shifting yourself back into a parallel reality wherein the body is, by definition, healthy. So the answer, in a sense, is yes and no. Linearly speaking, in time-space perspective, yes, the body can heal itself from anything. Mechanically speaking, from a physics point of view, the body actually never has to heal itself. You just have to shift your consciousness into a body that's already healthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but even if you change your consciousness, something happened to you physically, your consciousness will realign your body and the cells in your body. I mean, what if something already happened physically to you? You can't undo that.
I'll say it once again. The body that is injured is one body in one parallel reality. The body that is healthy is another body in another parallel reality.
So we take on new bodies and others?
Yes.
So you're saying I'm going to be a different physical body
when
tomorrow?
I talk about the idea that you are shifting through billions of parallel realities every second, I am saying that everything is different, including your body. Because that's just a projection. It's part of the projection of the parallel reality. I'm not saying your original body is moving through parallel realities. I'm saying your consciousness is shifting into the body that's already in that parallel reality. See the difference?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, it's kind of hard to understand this concept.
It is?
A little bit, yeah. Okay,
well,
so
one moment. Do you drive an automobile?
Yes.
All right. You are the consciousness. The car is your body. Mm-hmm. Now you take a trip to another country and you rent a car. Same consciousness, different body. You're in a different reality. What's so hard to understand about that?
We can do that in a lifetime. We can change that.
You are doing it all the time, billions of times a second. You're doing it so fast you don't know you're doing it. That's what we're telling you. Become aware of the fact that you're actually not the same person, literally, physically, from moment to moment, And you will start to understand that the person you are right now, right now, right now, right now, can be anything you choose to be, because you can choose what parallel reality to shift to by design and by definition, and you will thus then, by definition, simply be the consciousness looking out of the eyes of the body that's already the version of you that is already in that parallel reality, in the same way that when you go to another country, you're driving a car that's already in that country.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Same idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Take me literally. Take me literally. This is actually literally physically happening, because physical reality is just an illusion anyway. Your physical body isn't real. Your experience of it is real, but it's just a projection of your consciousness anyway. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes. Yes.
And does that help you? And does that help you? And does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Illness, I'm assuming it's chosen before you come into this world, or is it
Not
attracted?
always. Not always. Again, remember, we are now speaking linearly, colloquially, just to have the conversation. Sometimes there are things set up, as you would say, linearly, before this life, that may be the way you feel you need to explore a certain theme. Sometimes you leave it open to how the theme will be explored. And if you find yourself gravitating toward belief systems that by definition would simply automatically attract disease, dis-ease, then you may allow yourself to fall into that experience, just because that's one of the things that might have been the result of simply going down that path. It doesn't necessarily have to be decided beforehand, although the theme of exploration may have been decided, but the expression of that could have been done in any number of ways. So it just depends on what it is you have chosen to explore as to how specific the choice has to be. Sometimes things are planned to the second. Sometimes they're left very general, just as a way of saying, well, it could be this, it could be that. As long as it allows me to explore the theme I wish to explore, it could be a disease, it could be an accident, it could be finding something, it could be any number of different things. It just depends on how you wish to have that experience. Make sense?
Yeah. So in that sense, like, it's not necessarily attracted or not necessarily a response to resistance. It's just you wanted to grow, and that was your opportunity to grow.
It could be that, but you have to be able to tell the difference by exploring what it is you're getting out of it. That will usually tell you why that happened, and whether it was simply a choice of the moment or the result of a resistance or something that you had probably planned, and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is, in any event, no matter what the causation in terms of the original choice, no matter how you brought it to yourself, the bottom line is really, what did you learn by having that experience? Because that's what will allow you to shift to something else. Once you learn the lesson, there's no reason for any condition to stick around. Make sense?
Yeah, so in that sense, it's like, if this was a life theme or it became a life theme, it can totally be changed and resolved once I've learned the lessons that it was supposed to teach me.
Yes.
And the way to let go of it is to stop your belief system that you have to have this in your life and just move forward.
To not resist it, to not devalue it, to not judge that it shouldn't be there, because obviously it is there. So if it's there for some reason. So if you accept that it's there for some reason and learn what it is you need to learn, then it will have done its job and it will go on its way. Nothing sticks around that's already done its job. It's only resistance to it that makes it stick around, because you're refusing to allow it to do its job by saying it has no part in your life, when obviously if it's in your life, it does.
Okay.
Make sense?
It makes sense. And then last question, when you're physically feeling something, I don't know if you have this experience, but when you feel pain or discomfort or fatigue or something, it's in your body. How do you not feel it? I mean, it's just really impossible. I know you may not have a body.
Nothing is impossible, first of all. The idea is, of course, is that on your planet there are many people called yogis and other practitioners and shamans who have developed the ability to allow the idea of pain to be transformed. You understand?
Yeah.
You can do that too if you wish. But again, you must remember at the same time that because many of you have simply agreed to go along with a collective consensus of what physical reality is all about, some things you allow to simply be on automatic. So yes, when you have stubbed your toe, you will usually have some kind of painful sensation because you have agreed on the laws of physical reality, and thus then you simply don't need to take the time to circumvent that. At the same time, if it is of value to your particular exploration and your theme and your life lessons to understand how to transform that sensation into something else, then take some time to explore how the people that are already doing it on your planet do so. It's really mostly a matter of simply shifting your attention or redefining what it is you are experiencing.
Mm-hmm. So you can redefine anything, even the worst thing.
It's just energy. It's just vibrating energy. You can redefine all of it and have a completely different sensation. Have you not yourself seen or heard of demonstrations of what you call hypnosis, where a person is told that their skin is being touched with a lit cigarette and they blister when in fact it was just a person's finger? Have you not also conversely seen where people have been touched with a lit cigarette and not blistered because they were told it was just a person's finger? Have you not understood this idea?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think's happening there?
Their
They
mind.
believe
Yeah, they believe.
the reality they are being told.
Yeah.
Thus, then that is the response.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So anything can be transformed as long as the focus, as long as the energy, as long as the perspective says one thing, then whatever is not the vibration of that belief will never have the ability to affect that person.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please remember, this is just simple physics. That's all this is. And more precisely, not only is it just simple physics, it's simple physics. It's not that complicated. Once you understand the nature of the structure of consciousness and existence, it all makes sense.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I understood you talking about different levels of consciousness when I'm viewing myself as my old me that I am now versus the visualization of me, my ideal of,
Yes.
of how myself is.
Yes.
And I can viscerally feel the difference between the two.
All right, good.
But I get stuck mentally for myself.
How exciting.
I find myself more often than not vibrating at that lower self that I don't want to be.
Why are you choosing that?
I don't know.
Well, but that's the question. Because remember, what did we say about habit and pattern? When you say to us, I find myself or I have a tendency to, those phrases simply really mean I'm choosing for my own reasons that idea, that vibration, that reality. So the question to ask is, what would I have to believe is true about my relationship to this thing in order for me to choose that vibration, that idea, that reality? Find out what the definition is you're buying into that makes that seem like the preferable choice. Listen, you all have the same mechanism of motivation. You all are motivated by exactly the same mechanism. You always, and I mean always, and I mean unerringly, absolutely always, without exception, always move in the direction of what you believe to be more pleasurable, more positive, and always move away from what you believe to be more painful and more negative. Always. So the question is, if you understand that that mechanism exists, yet you find yourself choosing things, find yourself doing things that are representative of non-preferable, painful things, that should tell you something immediately. What it tells you is, you have somehow attached to the thing that you say ought to be more pleasurable, something that makes it seem less pleasurable than the thing you keep choosing, no matter how painful it is. Find out what that definition is you have attached to the thing you keep choosing that makes it seem like the more pleasurable choice. For example, we often use this analogy. We know that on your planet, your children are often taught very contradictory, very polarized belief systems. Love of money is the root of all evil. If you don't make a lot of money, you're a failure. How do you reconcile those two beliefs? So the idea is you often have beliefs that are at war with each other. So if you realize, one day you wonder, why can't I attract abundance? You suddenly remember, because I was taught that if I love money, I'm an evil person. Well, it's more important to me, more important than money, to not be a bad person. So if I continue to believe that money makes me bad, I will always keep money at bay. Always. Because that's my preference, to not be bad. But if you realize that you've linked that belief to the idea of money, then you can say, oh, wait a minute, that makes no sense. I can have money, I can be totally abundant in many ways, and I know that doesn't mean I have to be a bad person. Once you dissociate, once you unlink those contradictory, polarized beliefs, then you can realize you can make different choices and that they will stick, because you no longer have an overriding belief that you must choose this over that, because you've attached belief systems to them that are really representative of what you prefer, even though they may be contradictorily attached to opposing beliefs. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes.
So find out when you choose something. First of all, recognize it is always a choice. Like we said, if it's conscious, it's a choice. A habit is unconscious. A pattern is unconscious. If you're aware of it and you say, well, I recognize that I keep choosing, I recognize I have a tendency to, I recognize that, then you're aware of it. And so it's a choice. Own it. It's a choice. All right, I'm making a choice to choose something I don't prefer. Why would I do that? Then you can start finding out, what would I have to believe is true about this thing, about my relationship to this thing, to keep choosing it when I know I don't really prefer it? What would I have to believe is true about it? Then let yourself communicate with those portions of your consciousness that have the answer. If you be quiet and really investigate it, you'll get an answer, either internally or through synchronicity in your outer reflected reality. You'll get an answer, but you have to ask the question and be open and willing to receive an answer to really understand what the belief is that allows you to believe that's the choice you need to make. Because it's all predicated on definition. It's all predicated on belief. If you don't have a definition, if you don't have a belief, you don't feel any one way about anything, and you don't make any choices about anything at all. So it all comes from belief. It all comes from definition. Find out what it is. Recognize it has nothing to do with what you prefer. Let it go, because you don't want to be a belief thief, and move on. All right?
What if I have trouble?
What if you have what?
Difficulty.
What if you have what? Why would you have trouble? Do you understand that what you're saying right now is a belief?
Yes.
I believe that if I move ahead in this process, my definition of this process automatically labels it as difficult and troublesome. Do you understand? That's a belief. It is not empirically true that the process is difficult. It's not built in. It's not automatic. It's not a given. It's your belief that the process will be difficult. So why believe that? You understand? You have to catch yourself at every phrase and hear yourself spouting beliefs. It's not a given. Many of you say those things as if they're carved in steel. Well, everyone knows this is difficult. No, they don't. Only you think it is. Maybe many other people believe the same thing, but who cares what they believe? What do you prefer to believe?
I prefer to believe that it's simple and easy.
Then when you vibrate in that frequency, you will get the synchronicity that brings you the opportunities that you can act on that will be simple and easy opportunities if you truly believe it can be that simple. But if you don't, it won't. But it's all what you believe. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you believe it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Thank you. Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I hope my question is not repetitive.
Would you repeat that?
I don't know. I'm a mother,
Oh, all right.
and I wanted to ask you about the concept of worry.
Worry.
Yeah,
Well, what are you worried about?
my kids.
Why?
Well, I spoke with you before about my son had some mental health problems,
I understand, but what are you worried about?
that it will happen again.
So?
I don't want
I don't
it
mean to make light of it, but really, so?
I feel like I'm creating it. I don't
Don't you
want it
think
to
the child has a hand in creation as well?
Well, he keeps telling me to stop playing doctor and he's okay.
Then why don't you pay attention?
Okay.
Why not let the child heal you? Because in many ways, the child is behaving more like the parent. Learn that this is a co-creation. Learn that this is an agreement. Learn that this is an orchestration. Pay attention to what the child is saying. Take it to heart, that there is a reason for what is going on in the relationship on all levels, including physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Learn from it together. It's a journey you've decided to take together. It's not a one-sided thing. The weight of the world is not just on your shoulders. So you can let that go and walk down the path hand in hand with the child by also paying attention to when the child becomes the mentor and when the parent needs to be the child for a while, and pay attention to the guidance from the parent. Does that make sense?
The guidance for the parent, that's me.
The guidance from the child that is behaving more like a parent than the parent is. Do you understand?
Okay. I'm going to work on that.
Well, you can either work on it and work up a sweat, or you can simply accept and allow and discover what comes from that allowance, rather than walking down the path constantly worrying that you're on the wrong path, which is not possible. The only way to miss an appointment is by spending time worrying you'll miss the appointment. The only way to not be on your path is by assuming that you're off it. So the idea is that obviously you set this up together, and you just need to pay a little bit more attention that the child knows more than you might think. Now, that doesn't mean you can't guide, but also you must listen and be guided. It's a concert. It's a give and take. It's an agreement. It's a collaboration. All right?
Yes. I'd like to ask you a question about my voice, which we have spoken about before.
Yes.
When am I going to get my voice back?
That depends. When will you have something that you need to say? The idea really for you is multifold in terms of its symbology. And right now, relevant to the issue you have just raised regarding your child, it's really a symbol of you don't really need to say so much. You really need to listen more. You understand? When you listen with the proper degree of balance, you'll get your voice back, but only to the extent that you actually need to say something. This is your own governor, your own self-regulating methodology of making sure that you don't actually say more than you need to say. The more you try to say more than you need to say, the harder it will be to say anything. When you start relaxing into the idea of just listening and trusting and not worrying so much, and know that you don't need to say as much as you think you do, your voice will be there for the things that actually need to be said. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right.
But one time you told me that there's other ways to communicate.
There are. And you can learn that as well if you haven't done so already. But the first step in communication is listen to what is actually being said to you. All right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Hello, Bashar.
And